Alright, so up to this point we've set up our Angular seed file structure and we've created the application on the Facebook side. What I want to do now is integrate a Bootstrap template with this app so it doesn't look so ridiculous. So basically you could just download Bootstrap and upload it, but I'm going to use Bower, which is I guess it's kind of a package manager or a library manager. Basically, I get bashed into my ng social project, and I'm going to say, what do I want to do? Bower install Bootstrap. All right, and that should grab all the Bootstrap files for us. Okay, so I'm just going to say no to this. Alright, let's take a look. If we go in our app folder, Bower components, you should now have Bootstrap, and it looks like it also installs jQuery because the Bootstrap JS file needs jQuery. Alright, so that should be all set. Now what we need to do is create the index file. Alright, if we go ahead and open that up, let's see, I want to open that up with Sublime. Let's see, Sublime Text 2. Alright, so this is basically the default index file that they give you. We obviously want to change some things here, so we'll start at the top. Now, by default, the app is called My App, and for now I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to leave all the Angular stuff for now because I just want to get the template going. Alright, so let's change the title to ng social app, and by default it implements HTML5 boilerplate. We're not going to be using that, so I want to change this to Bower components, and I want the Bootstrap CSS file. Okay, so it's going to be in Bootstrap dist CSS, and we'll use let's see, we'll just use Bootstrap CSS, I guess. Oh, actually, you know what? My file extensions aren't showing. If you're just seeing Bootstrap without the CSS here, what you want to do is, let's see, what do I want to do? Windows 7, you want to go to Organize, Folder and Search Options, and under Search, under View, for one thing, I'm going to choose to show hidden files, and you want this here, Hide Extensions for Known File Types. You want that unchecked. Okay, so now you can see that we can actually see the extension. Alright, so we're going to use the bootstrap min.css. So we need to change this path. Okay, we want to say bootstrap /dist /css /bootstrap.min.css. Alright, now we're also going to have an application CSS file. So I'm going to put that just right in the root. So I want to be in the app folder. Actually, it's already there. Never mind. We just we're going to make sure we include it, which it is right here. All right. So let's just get rid of that line there, and we're not going to need modernizer, so we can get rid of that as well. And then down at the bottom, we already have Angular included. We have Angular route. We have our app.js. This version stuff here, we don't need this. For the views, we're not going to need them, but if you want, you can keep them. What I'm going to do is copy one of these, and I want to include Facebook /facebook.js. Okay, and we're going to be creating that. And that should be it for the JavaScript. Now this version directive, you can get rid of this line. We don't need that. The ng view is where it's going to place our templates or views. Basically all I want now is a nav bar. Alright, so let's go to Get Bootstrap and go to Getting Started and then Examples. And I want to get this starter template right here. Click on that and then we'll do a Control U. And I just want to get everything in the nav tags. So we'll copy that. And I'm going to replace this UL right here. Alright, and also I want to put a container div around ng view. Alright, so let's say div class is equal to container. Alright, and then for the links up here, let's do the project. Actually, we're not going to have any links. We just want to change the project name. And we'll call this ng social. And I'm going to get rid of the div with the ID of navbar. Alright, so if we save that and go ahead and upload everything. So if we go to FileZilla, basically just going to actually all we need to upload is Bower components and index. Okay, so I'm going to choose to overwrite. Okay, that'll take a minute. Now there's other ways to do this. You can use built-in FTP clients in different editors, or you can set it up to sync automatically, but this is a small project, so we're just going to do it, upload it manually like this. Maybe next time we won't do the whole Bower components folder, just any changes. Actually, I don't think we'll have any changes really because we have all of the libraries installed that we need. Alright, so let's take a look at the remote app. Alright, so we have our ng social. Now before we move on to the Angular stuff, I want to change the look of this a little bit. And I guess a library or kind of a framework that we can use that goes on top of Bootstrap is Bootswatch. Or actually, I guess it's just a theme, but you can choose different themes. Let's see, I'm going to grab this one right here, this Cerulean, and we can say download. And then what I'm going to do is just copy all of this, and then I'm going to go to my Bootstrap file, CSS file, which is in Bower Components, Bootstrap dist CSS, and we want the min. And then I'm just going to replace all of this and save it. Alright, so now if we go ahead and let's just upload that file. Bootstrap. Okay, so we want to upload Bootstrap min. Okay, so now if we go back, now we have Facebook color blue for our navbar. Now what I want to do is the page body. And what I'm going to do first is just include it right inside of index.html, just because I want to get the cosmetics done, just so we can see, just so we can get you know, the form, the login button, things like that. I want to get that before we actually go on to build the inner workings of the application. Alright, so I'm going to do that right under this ng view. Okay, so if we type something here, and actually, you know what, we don't even, I think we can use the local version because we're not even doing anything that's related to Angular yet. So let me just see if we can do that. If we just open up index. and actually we need to get rid of, with this navbar, I want to get rid of navbar fixed top. Yeah, alright. So as you can see, this is the local version, and just for now I'm going to work with this just to get the static, just the login form, things like that. Alright, so let's get rid of this something. Basically we're going to have two columns. We're going to have the sidebar and the main content. So let's create a row. Alright, and then we need two columns. We're going to have a for column. So this will be call MD4. Alright, and then we'll have call MD8. Alright, now in the for column on the side, we're going to have an H4, and it's going to say welcome. We'll just say welcome John Doe. Alright, and then it's going to have, actually this is before we log in, so let's change this to just say please log in, and then we'll have a button. Okay, so button, and the type will be button. Alright, the class, Bootstrap class, which is BTN, and then BTN default. Alright, and this will say login. Alright, so that's good. And then under that, we're going to have a block. So I want to go under the button, and then we'll put a line break. And then let's have a div, and I'm going to give it the Bootstrap class of well, which gives it some padding and a background of light gray. Alright, and let's have a heading, an H4, and this will say user info. Alright, and then we'll have an unordered list. Alright, and we'll have things like ID, and this will be some ID, and we just copy this. Let's say this was first name. So I'll just put some sample info for now. We'll say John. Okay, so first name, last name. And then we'll have the email address. We'll say john@gmail.com. Alright, gender is another thing you can get. Okay, John is a male. And we'll also have its locale. Okay, locale will be, we'll say ENGB. Alright, so that's the user info block. Next will be the permissions. Okay, so after this well, we'll have a line break, and then we're going to have the user permissions. This will be another well. Actually, we'll just say permissions. Alright, I'm not going to go through and make up fake permissions. I'm just going to leave it like that, because that's pretty much it for the sidebar. Alright, let's take a look at that. Alright, let's put another line break under login. Whoops, get rid of that and that. Okay, so right here. Alright, so that is the sidebar. Next is the main content area. And that's where the status box is going to be. So we want to go inside of this 8-column div. And let's see, what do we want to put here? Let's put an H3 heading. And we'll just say, welcome to Facebook. Alright, most of the content's going to be, it's going to depend on if the user's logged in or not. Okay, obviously all the ID stuff, all the user info's permission is only going to be if the user's logged in. This heading will be seen by everyone, so we'll leave that. And we want to have a form. And I'm just going to leave the attributes blank for now. And let's say we want a div class. We're going to use the bootstrap form, so we need a class called form group. Alright, and in that we'll have a label, and we'll have this say status update. Alright, and then we'll have a text area. Alright, and that'll have a class of form control. And then after that div, we'll have a button. Alright, and you want the type to be submit. And we'll give it a class of btn default. And what else? That's good, I think. Okay, and we'll say submit. And closing button. Whoops, that should be a U. So that's the form, and then under that is going to be the feed, the user's feed. But I'm just going to leave that for now. We're going to do that later on. So let's take a look at this. Alright, so that looks good. And that does it for the cosmetic or the front end. Let's go ahead and just upload these things. Alright, so we want to upload index. Okay, and now if we go to the remote app, we have the same thing. Alright, so like I said, in the next video we'll move on and we'll get into the Angular side of it.